thanks for watching. In this video, I'm going to be talking about yearly planning and some helpful hints and tricks that have worked for me, as well as explaining the one-word system and how that has really helped. So looking back over the past, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years, I am someone who loves planning and planning out the year, and so I've come across some things that have helped me and I wanted to share them. So back in 2013, I was looking on YouTube, as you do, for videos on planning, and I came across this woman and was watching kind of her process, and the one thing that really struck me was that she was doing a closing ceremony for the previous year, and that I had never heard done before, and I thought, just after hearing that, number one, like, I want to know what system you're using. So the system she was using was the Leonie Dawson Create Your Amazing Year Life Edition workbook and planner. So I'm not a huge fan of her anymore and kind of what she's doing, but this idea of having a closing ceremony I found was so important, because I don't know about you, but I have a lot of like goals and plans and dreams and hopes and wishes, and they don't always come to pass. So I found that especially when you're thinking about upcoming year or starting something new, it's really helpful to close out the previous year and the previous chapter. So that's something that A, I had never seen done before, and B, I really wanted to adapt in my own life. So that's number one, and I'll kind of share some things, because I bought this so it was 2014. I bought this in like November of 2014, so the year was almost done, but I really wanted to see, and she hadn't yet released 2015, I wanted to see how she did this closing ceremony. So the chapter is called Celebrating and Releasing 2013, and so it's like this, it's really beautiful. There's like all this, like tons of color. Hold on a sec. It's in one of those like 3-ring binders, so everything's going everywhere. And I haven't looked at it in years and years, but this is like the great thing about yearly planning is it's kind of fun to go back and see what you've done over the years and where you thought you'd be or where you wanted to be versus where you are today, which is still a great place. Let me just say that. So celebrating and releasing 2013 is really, really helpful. And this is, she asks questions like, what do you need to share, rant, journal, express, write about to feel complete in 2013? Celebrate a page of gratitude, draw pictures of everything you're grateful for 2013. And this is the big thing. This is the completion circle. Now what it is, it's like a grid or a circle with 4 quadrants, and the line says place your hand in the circle to receive energy. I am a big proponent of energy and sort of like quantum physics. I mean, that's just like scientific observation, the idea of energy being so powerful. So the 4 quadrants are, and what she says for each quadrant is, we breathe and give thanks for all that has passed. We open up to the beautiful possibilities blossoming before us. We let go and breathe, releasing all that is old and no longer serves us. We radiate in light and joy. All is beautiful and all is well. And that's the completion circle. So I even put a little post-it there. I would have to say that that's sort of my number one biggest, I don't say hint or tip, or one of the most important things in designing a new year is to finish the old year. So that's sort of tip number one. So this was Leonie Dawson for 2014. I also bought her book for 2015, and I actually had it bound, you can see, and printed it out, because it's just like a downloadable printable thing. And it's really got some sort of beautiful illustrations. She has several influences for this, I'm sure. Other artists who have similar work that she is sort of drawing her influence from, but I appreciate all the work that went into this on her side, and it really, like, it takes some time. It took a couple, like, concentrated days. I would say maybe, I mean, you can put in as much or as little time, but I really thought about it, and it took me maybe 4 to 5 hours to sit down and fill out all the questions. So more questions for celebrating and releasing. This would be 2014. I know myself now more because I was transformed this year by, I let go of, and I'm happy because of. Okay, so these are, and then there's another closing ceremony, completing circle, with the exact same statements in them. So here is the next session, Let's Dream and Create Your Shining Life. So this was sort of my introduction to full year planning, and I started this, like I said, maybe 5 years ago. And the thing that I love about this, let me see if I can find it, is that she this is the first time I'd seen this sort of thing. She has a section called Word for the Year. And for 2015, the word for the year that I chose was hope. Just one word. And I think that's the most important thing out of this whole, like, whatever, 120 page little thing. I would say that that's the most important thing I took away from this, is that having one word can change your life. Because that one word informs everything you do for the year. And you're not going to remember, I mean, honestly, you're not going to remember everything that's in this book, but you will remember that one word. And that will change the way that you react to things, change the way that you make decisions, change your priorities and your focus, and kind of help you align them more with where you really want to be. Sounds grand, but it really does work. So on that one word, I'll kind of transition, because I have done this every year since that time. So when I got this in 2013, I chose a year for that year, got the previous one, and that word for 2013 was acceptance. And it's interesting because I really feel like that word acceptance carried over more into 2014, because there are a lot of things that happened. I had a pretty bad relationship happen in 2014, and it ended up that the best and the only thing I can do, the best thing I could do, was just accept it and move on. So that was 2013. My year, and I have them all written out on this little post-it that I found looking through my old planners. So 2014, the word was trust. And I really saw, sometimes all I could do was trust that there was a greater plan at work in whatever was going on. 2015, the word was hope. And that was exciting because I had a lot of new and different and wonderful things happen in 2015 that I never would have planned or expected. I ended up getting a job that was a significant bump up in income, which was exciting. Like, it was the first time I'd hit that income level. And it wasn't even like, I come from a long line of under-earning women, so it wasn't that big of an income bump, but it was significant for me at the time in 2015. So that word was hope. 2016, the word was joy. And to be honest, it felt kind of like a bit of a slog. Like, 2016, let's say was unremarkable, but oh no, I lied. So in 2016, I actually ended up having kind of a bit of a not the best time mental health wise. 2016 could have been better mentally, but through that, having the word joy kind of inspired me to see, I would say to find the joy in the circumstances, because again, sometimes the best you can do. 2017, my word was complete, which was important again for the next year, because I feel like in 2018, a lot of the situations and relationships that I had been in, I really found completion in. And it wasn't always the way that I had wanted. Like, it wasn't always what I had wanted. The outcome I had desired did not come to pass, but I felt that the relationship was absolutely complete, and I have never been more grateful for that ever in my life. So I really saw completion in this year, 2018, and it's kind of cool to look back and be like, oh, that didn't happen in the timeline that I would have wanted, but it happened, and I'm really grateful that it happened, and it couldn't have happened better. So my word for 2018 was rest. And that was an important word, because I am not someone who rests easily. I feel like I always have to be on the go, yet at the same time, sometimes if I would just rest, my going would be more productive. So that was something else that I kind of I'm learning that, and I'm practicing it. And it is a practice that you kind of do continually, and it's something that hopefully you get better at as the years go on and as you really look back, because I find for me, that's the most important thing. And it's often the hardest thing to kind of look back and be like, ooh, that was a terrible decision. Why did I do that? Or, ooh, why do I keep doing that? And then I beat myself up. And that really doesn't put me in the best place to move forward in a positive way. So I, this year, have really seen the idea of rest to come into play, because I'm terrible at it. And I feel like the more conscious I am and the more I try to cultivate that in my life, the better I become at it. So I think that was a really great word for me this year. And I'm already seeing sort of the fruit of that, because sometimes the rest comes before the outcome. You have to rest in the fact that the outcome is assured before the outcome appears before you can see it with your eyes. There's so much going on that we don't see. When you think about like trees and how they start from little seeds, do you see the seed at the top? You know, like do you see the tree when it's still a seed? No, you don't. But those roots are forming, and those roots are taking shape and taking hold. And then eventually, in the fullness of time, you will see that tree. So that's kind of the idea where I am right now in that resting phase. So I hope this has been helpful in kind of just giving a quick intro to the way that I plan my year, or that I'm planning to plan my year. It's October, so I know planning season is kind of upon us. The new planners have been released, so I'm excited to sort of find one that I'm going to be using for the next year, and I'm excited to sort of plan out the year. I'm still choosing my word. I have no idea what word I'm going to pick for 2019, but I'm excited to see what 2019 will bring. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been helpful, and I hope that you will watch again soon. Thanks.